In the last lecture, we saw what are Trojans, and we have a brief introduction about Trojans. In this lecture, we will see different types of Trojans and how these Trojans work. So, before moving ahead with the types of Trojans, let us first see an example of how a Trojan can affect a system. So, the first step is an attacker sends an email to victim containing link to the Trojan server. The victim clicks the link and immediately connects to the Trojan server in XYZ country. Then the Trojan is sent to the victim from the server. Victim installs the Trojan, infecting his machine. And finally, attacker connects to the victim's machine because the user himself or herself has given permission. That is why security experts always tell you to pay the price for legitimate softwares rather than just downloading it for free. The first Trojan is the remote access Trojan, which is a very common Trojan these days, and you might have heard of this term often. What is a remote access Trojan? A remote access Trojan works like a remote desktop access. Hacker gains complete GUI access to the remote system. Consider an example. Jason, the attacker, infects Alice's computer with server.exe file and plants a reverse connecting Trojan. The Trojan connects the port 80 to the attacker in Russia, establishing a reverse connection. Therefore, Jason, the attacker, has complete control over Rebecca's machine. A common example of a remote access Trojan is NJRAT. NJRAT is a remote access Trojan that can download and execute additional malware, execute shell commands, read and write registry keys, capture screenshots, lock keystrokes, spy on webcams, and many more. Other examples of RAT include MO-Sucker, ProRat, Thief, LSM-DOE, KDRat, PCRat or Ghost, NetWire, JavaRat, and many more. There are specific tools to create a remote access Trojan, and as you can see on the screen, the attacker has hacked the server and then connected to the infected PCs. Other Trojans are backdoor Trojans. What is a backdoor Trojan? A backdoor is a program which bypasses the system's customary security mechanisms to gain access to a restricted area of a computer system. Backdoors are used by the attacker to have uninterrupted access to the target machine. A great example of a backdoor Trojan is Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy gives the attacker practically complete control over the infected computer. Once the backdoor is executed, it copies itself to the either Windows folder or the Windows System 32 folder. The next type of Trojan that we are going to see is rootkit Trojan. Right. Rootkit Trojans are considered as powerful backdoors that specifically attack the root, that is the operating system. Compared to the other backdoors, rootkit cannot be detected by observing services, system task list, or registries. Rootkits consist of three components: a dropper, a loader, and a rootkit itself. Examples of rootkits are Whistler, CPD, Greyfish, Wingbird, etc. If you really have interest, you can go over the Google and search these types of rootkits. The next Trojan is a botnet Trojan. A botnet Trojans infect a large number of computers across a large geographical area to create a network of bots that is controlled through a command line and command server, that is CNC center. Basically, Botnet is used to launch various attacks on a victim, including denial of service attacks, email spamming, click fraud, and the theft of financial information. The next Trojan is very interesting. It is very common these days. That is the e-banking Trojan. E-banking Trojans, as the name suggests, intercept a victim's account information before it is encrypted and sends it to the attacker's Trojan command and control center. It steals victims' data such as credit card, CVV number, billing details, account number, bank details, passwords, email, etc. Then how a e-banking Trojan works? Well, they can work through grabbers, form grabber which collects the data, HTML injection, and covert credential grabber. So this is how e-banking Trojan can work. The next type of Trojan that we are going to see is a proxy server Trojan. Well, as the name suggests, Trojan proxy is usually a standalone application that allows remote attackers to use the victim's computer as a proxy to connect to the internet. Let us consider Bob has attacked Alice's computer via Trojan and has placed a proxy. So, to do any illegal activities, Bob accesses the internet via Alice's computer, telling the internet that Alice is doing commands on behalf of on behalf of Bob, so that Bob's real identity is hidden. The next type of Trojan is a defacement Trojan. Defacement Trojan allow a user to view, edit, extract, and replace strings, bitmap, logos, and icons from any Windows program. They allow attackers to view and edit almost any aspect of a compiled Windows program. All these Trojans are very destructive in nature. There are other Trojans like mobile Trojan, Internet of Things Trojan, destructive Trojans, hacking Trojans, and many more. In the next lecture, we are going to talk about one of the most commonly discussed topics around the globe, that is viruses. Anything happens on your computer, if you ask your parents or your relatives or even your friends, the common answer is virus. Well, let's explore virus.